for coming back after your sessions. How were your breakout sessions? All right, awesome. Well, let me see. I think the first thing I'm going to need up here is a clicker. Thank you. So we have an exciting lineup for you to talk a little bit about where we're going in the future and a little bit about what we've delivered so far. But first, all right. Enterprises today are faced with chaos in the form of signal. In fact, I think we're overwhelmed with signal today. Customer signal, IoT signal, there's just so much signal. It's actually sometimes just noise. And there's a huge opportunity for us to take all of this amazing signal and transform it into something meaningful for the enterprise. And AI is a huge unlock for us to be able to do that. But it's not exactly easy right now, right? There's a lot of challenges in terms of how we think about taking all of that signal and converting it into value. And there's a little bit of caution that we have to have when we think about this because it's demanding, it can be expensive, and it can actually just overwhelm us a little bit. AI at scale means a lot of things to our customers, but paramount is the complexity, the amount of signal that we're getting from a customer or machine, the intent that that can represent, and the volume, the millions and billions and trillions of signals that our enterprises are getting every day. And the demand for us to respond with great speed has never been higher and has never been more exciting to be able to tackle. Now, I want to tee up an example here, starting with Customer 360. So this is just an example. There's lots of different ways that we think about converting all of this signal to meaningful information through AI. But in the example of Customer 360, we have many examples. We have text that's coming in, we've got chat that's coming in, we've got emails, we've got visits to stores online and in person. All of this signal that we're getting is essentially trusted data. It's data that's coming from customers to tell us what they intend to do. And with that, we can convert it into trusted AI because we know that that data at its essence is a trustworthy set of material. And we can convert that to sentiment analysis, text analysis, understanding what the next best action and next best offer look like. And with that, we can augment it with Gen AI through a virtuous cycle of making that information richer and better to be able to understand how to convert that massive amount of signal and noise into something meaningful. And of course, that signal has to be trusted so we can then convert it to a well-orchestrated execution engine to be able to provide what the right thing is to do for that customer, taking advantage of those AI signals that we've converted from that trusted data. Now, we can't do that alone as Teradata, right? Steve earlier today talked about open and connected being a fundamental aspect of our ethos. And so we have a huge array of partners that we're working with right now today to be able to deliver this complete trusted AI environment and ecosystem for you. Now, of course, we have to do this in the context of being trusted, as I've mentioned, being transparent, especially if you're in a highly regulated market, as many of you are. You have to be able to explain how you got this answer, how you got this data. We have to be able to do it with auditability, right, reportability back to the federal governments that we have. And finally, it has to be enterprise hardened. Many of you, we've heard today, are in the midst of POCs and POCs and POCs. How do you get from those POCs into a quality enterprise-grade solution that scales and is cost-efficient? And that's been a primary focus here at Teradata. And so when we talk about scale, it's easy to not imagine how giant this is. And I wanted to give just a couple of examples. So 60 million signals for telephony optimization, 6 billion signals for risk optimization, just to give you an example of the scope and scale that we're talking about here at Teradata when we think about scale of that signal that we're converting through AI into something useful. So I wanted to give you a couple of examples. And these were all done with Hugging Face, but there's lots of different ways to get to these solutions, but I thought just sort of giving you a little bit of a sense of how we take large language models and use them sort of fit for purpose. So in this example, it's a regulatory compliance example. It was done in conjunction. This actually was done on premises. So we see customers doing this both on-prem and in the cloud. But being able to understand all of that signal, transitioning it through a Hugging Face large language model into Teradata and delivering at scale with a $51 million business impact. A new way to identify regulatory compliance risk to the business. Customer Complaint Analyzer, another program that we just recently worked with a customer on, understanding unauthorized account access, understanding what folks are saying in text messages and on phone calls, and using, again, a Hugging Face model in order to understand how to make that operationally valuable to the organization, resulting in a $64 million expected customer impact. And finally, in the medical field, looking at understanding a healthcare provider and the different claims that patients are provided with and how to understand, how to analyze all of those enormous volumes of customer patient data and understand what to do, what's the next best action for that customer. Is it diabetes medication? Is it a nurse call? What's the right protocol and follow-up there? So just some examples of the ways that our customers today are using AI and large language models successfully. So I think we now know that with AI, scale truly matters, and moving from those proofs of concept into something that you can actually productionalize is where you're going to be able to get the most value for your companies. Now with that, I have some special tricks up my sleeve. I want to bring up to the stage our head of advanced research and development, Louis Landry, who will tell you a little bit more about how Teradata uniquely delivers this in the market. Louis?
AI today can feel almost magical, like science fiction come to life, but at its core, it's just software. Incredibly sophisticated software that's transforming industries, but software nonetheless. And like all software, the power lies in the data it processes. So let's talk about how Teradata is built for this moment. Vector embeddings are the lingua franca of modern AI systems. They're how we represent complex data types, like text or images. But what are they? They're a long list of numbers that AI can understand and process efficiently. In fact, the one on the screen here represents a text line that says AI feels like magic, but it's just software. Let's consider a real-world example, though. An AI support system for a major telco. Without specific context, it's just another generic chatbot. But using vectors, we can transform it into a powerhouse of customer service. We encode everything. Service agreements, product offerings, frequently asked questions, even network coverage maps into vector embeddings. Now, when customers ask questions, we augment the AI system with information about the company and customer via those vector embeddings so that the AI can respond more accurately and holistically. But here's where things get challenging. We're not talking about a few hundred FAQs. We're dealing with millions of customers, each with unique histories and issues. And this is where Teradata shines. We're not just handling vector embeddings, we're doing it at a scale that others can't match. Imagine processing billions of these embeddings, running millions of queries, all while maintaining sub-second response times. That's the level of performance that separates toys from tools in enterprise scale, and why we're so excited about bringing vector capabilities to your AI systems. Now, in the AI landscape, context isn't just king, it's the entire kingdom. The era of AI demands a level of data integration that most solutions simply weren't built for. It's not enough to access some data. AI systems need to understand and leverage the entire data estate seamlessly. In a sense, it's like not being able to see the full picture until you put the puzzle pieces together. And this is where Teradata's 40 years of experience in large-scale integrated data becomes transformative. We're not just handling vector embeddings, we're positioned to seamlessly integrate them into your entire data ecosystem, just as we've been doing with other data types for decades. Imagine our customer support example, where the AI instantly knows not just the customer's question, but their entire history with your company. Current plan, usage patterns, payment history, network performance in their area, personalized offers, social media interactions, support ticket history, all of that integrated and used as context. This level of enterprise-wide integration is where many solutions stumble. Some can handle millions of data points, but can't return queries in seconds. Others offer speed, but only for limited siloed data sets. At Teradata, we're built to deliver both. Billions of data points, petabytes of diverse data types, complex joins across disparate domains, all while maintaining sub-second response times. This isn't just AI. This is enterprise smart AI that leverages every bit of relevant data across your entire organization. That context isn't just a nice to have. It's critical for success. And that kind of scale is exactly what Teradata is built for. Now, at Teradata, multidimensional scale isn't just words. It's the foundation of everything that we do. It's about handling massive data volumes, sure, but also about managing complex queries, high concurrency, and diverse data models, all while maintaining those lightning-fast response times. Our systems don't flinch at normalized models, dimensional models, or anything in between. Query complexity, that's our problem to solve, not yours. Our MPP architecture, coupled with our optimizer and workload management, takes care of it. But here's where we truly shine: efficiency at scale. We spent decades fine-tuning every aspect of the system. The result? A platform that doesn't just handle more, it handles more intelligently, optimizing resources and minimizing latency so you can get more done with less. Now, if you'll indulge me, I want to take just a minute to talk a little about how this is possible. At the heart of Teradata's power is our massively parallel processing architecture. Think of it as a synchronized orchestra, where each worker is a musician and Binet, our networking coordination layer, is the conductor. In fact, Binet is based on Teradata's founding patent. It doesn't just keep time, though. It's performing another crucial task. As data moves between nodes, Binet sorts it on the wire. This isn't just clever engineering. It's how we've achieved true parallelism in every step of a query for decades, while some others have struggled. And our cost-based optimizer is another key component, acting as both composer and arranger. For each query, it composes countless potential execution plans, choosing join types, geography, and order to minimize time, all while considering the size and shape of data along with the infrastructure on which it executes. But here's the kicker. It has the patented ability to adjust these plans on the fly, much like a chess grandmaster adapting their strategy mid-game. This symphony of technology, our MPP architecture, Binet, and optimizer don't just perform well, it scales linearly, ensuring that you're always getting the best performance at the lowest cost per query. Now, let's take a step back and see how we manage this immense processing power. Our workload management system is like a sophisticated traffic control system for a complex highway network, and it's truly unique in the industry. Imagine highways with slow lanes, express lanes, bus lanes, and even shoulders. In our system, there can be as many or as few lanes as you need. Workload management decides which queries, think of them as cars, drive in which lanes. It allocates resources like I/O and CPU time to these lanes based on priorities you choose. Critical operational queries take the express lane, while more complex data science jobs might be routed to dedicated lanes that don't interfere with day-to-day operations. We can adjust traffic patterns on the fly, ensuring that your most important workloads always get through, even during peak times. The business impact of this? Drastically improved resource utilization, consistent performance SLAs, and the ability to support a wide range of use cases on a single platform. It's not just about managing queries, though. This is about aligning your data infrastructure with your business priorities. You know, speaking of data science jobs, Today's business challenges demand capabilities far beyond selection, projection, and filtering. Enter ClearScape Analytics. Now, I know this is a lot to take in. The good news is you don't need to read it, and there won't be a quiz at the end. I do want you to take away, though, that this is just a subset of what ClearScape offers. You'll hear about more from Tim and Dan in a minute, but this is the current suite of functions built directly into our engine, bringing analytics to your data, not the other way around. Whether you're handling missing values, performing complex statistical tests, or training machine learning models, these functions transform your data into insights. No data movement or repartitioning necessary, just seamless and efficient AI at scale. Now here's something great for all you Python and R enthusiasts. You can keep coding exactly the way you do now. Our software modules for Python and R mean you don't have to learn SQL or change your workflow. But here's where it gets exciting. While you're writing your code, you're tapping into the full power of Teradata's engine. It's like coding on your laptop, but with a supercomputer at your fingertips. That power and simplicity make incredible things possible. You can segment millions of customer profiles or predict behaviors in minutes, not hours. You can forecast market trends or optimize supply chains using years of historical data alongside real-time inputs. You can analyze complex sensor data from thousands of IoT devices in near real time. All of that is possible whether you work in SQL, Python, R, or something else. This is ClearScape Analytics, familiar on the surface, but with the power of Teradata underneath. It's not about changing how you work, it's about amplifying what your work can achieve. And if you want to learn more, don't miss Martin Wilcox's section tomorrow for a deeper dive into how we're making this a reality with our customers. Now, you might be wondering why it matters so much that these capabilities are built into the engine. After all, you can just spin up some servers and run some Python scripts to do this, right? Let's dig into that. Imagine you're tasked with optimizing your company's supply chain and need to run multivariate regressions on a massive data set. You need results fast, so you need to run multiple scenarios concurrently. We set up a bake-off, our built-in ClearScape function against a set of parallel Python processes. To make it fair, both use the same type and number of servers. Looking at this chart, we see two key metrics, throughput and concurrency. With Python, the blue line, you might see a decent performance at the start, but quickly it hits a wall. Now you've maxed out your resources. Your data scientists are either constrained or about to spend a lot more money on new servers. Now, look at Teradata's performance. We're achieving 8 times the throughput of Python implementation, but that's not all. We can comfortably handle over 6 times the concurrency without breaking a sweat on those same servers. This means you can simultaneously explore at least 6 times more combinations of variables or methods for your supply chain problem, and still finish 8 times faster than with Python alone. With ClearScape, we've turned your data platform into an engine for experimentation and simulation, getting to better answers faster. As you can see, Teradata is built from the ground up to support AI at massive scale, and I do mean massive. Whether you're diving into generative AI solutions with billions of vector embeddings, or you're pushing the boundary of traditional AI, and machine learning, we've got you covered. But powerful technology is only useful when it fits your needs. And that's why we offer flexible deployment options for our engine. If you want full control on premises, we've got Vantage Core. If you prefer an enterprise-managed cloud environment, Vantage Cloud is your answer. If you need an on-demand system for AI or data projects, try AI Unlimited. The best part, you get the same powerful engine no matter which option you choose. It's all about what works best for you. So to tell you more about our latest product offerings, I'm thrilled to welcome to the stage our SVP of Engineering, Tim McIntyre.
All right, thank you, brother. We're going to have a long history of innovation. And what we've delivered over the past few years for analytics and AI at scale is nothing short of incredible. You may have heard some people say Teradata was late to the cloud, and you know what, some of those people might have even been right. Well, we've more than caught up now, and I can tell you today that we are not late to advanced analytics and artificial intelligence. Teradata has been innovating in this space for years. Frankly, it's why I'm at this company. I have a long history in the high-performance computing space. I've watched Teradata leverage its massively parallel architecture, which maps directly to the architecture that younger AI companies are leveraging to train the largest models in the world. We're using those strengths to deliver real-world analytics tools and services that are driving massive business advantages to our customers. I'm going to walk you through some of the delivery in the past few years where Teradata is focused in data and analytics, starting with in-database analytics. Our analytic functions initially ran kind of as a sidecar next to the database. Through acquisitions of an advanced machine learning engine and an incredibly talented team of data scientists and engineers, we then spent years integrating these functions directly into the database. We have over 150 in-database analytic functions that you just saw from Lewis. This gives our users the ability to harness the power of combining their most valuable data sets, their best organized data in their business, with our MPP architecture. We immediately followed the delivery of in-database analytics with the industry's first 4D analytics. These are integrated, advanced analytic functions, including geospatial analysis and time series analysis. This allows users to discover new data patterns based on where and when, and predict the next possible business opportunities or business impediments. This also gives you smarter compute for IoT and edge use cases. You can deploy new logic to the edge, improve business operations, and improve customer satisfaction. We then launched Vantage Cloud Lake as our platform for next-generation analytics and AI. To maintain the best price performance on the planet, in this space, we need to develop a brand new cloud-native architecture with true separation of compute and storage. It's based on our object file system and open table formats. We developed brand new constructs in our world-class optimizer to intelligently drive workloads either from its BFS-driven, low-latency compute or to dynamic compute clusters that pull data directly from object storage. This architecture maintains everything that's great about Teradata while providing the scale and elasticity demanded by the next generation of customers running the most demanding AI workloads. And we've wrapped all this technology in amazing self-service APIs, an amazing user-friendly console that pulls users out of SQL into the same ecosystem of interfaces that generate new value to the business every day. Vantage Cloud Lake was our platform to launch a fully realized ClearScape Analytics. ClearScape Analytics provides a wide variety of analytics beyond the in-database analytics that I referred to earlier. It also includes the geospatial analysis. Our platform offers core language support for Python, R, SAS, SQL, and tight integration with a broad range of different technologies, including bring your own analytics to the open analytics framework, running on containers, and has model sharing. We've built in model ops, offering end-to-end lifecycle management, understanding model drift, managing model deployments, and doing all the different model monitoring that allows you to operationalize custom models in your environment. And we have some exciting brand new announcements. This shows how we continue to enable customers to realize their full AI potential. Ease of use has been a huge investment area for us, especially as it relates to analytics. We just issued a press release on 5 new things. First, new functionality in our open analytics framework. Teradata Open Source ML. ClearScape Analytics users can run popular open source machine learning functions directly on Vantage Cloud. This combines ease of use and makes it simple and scalable to operationalize open source models. AutoML. This is designed to enable data scientists to train high-quality models specific to the business need of each organization. By automating model training, Teradata is taking the time-consuming manual work that was involved in the past, takes that out of the ML process, and enables non-technical business users to build AI and ML models in Vantage. And then finally, on ease of use, KNIME integration. This is a complete no-code, low-code platform that allows scientists to build data science workflows. This is a huge accelerator for AI initiatives. Users are provided with an open source, no-code interface that's designed for either non-technical or technical users to access the platform. This is the part of the announcement I was most excited about as a former Spark user. We've brought Spark to ClearScape Analytics. Data scientists can use PySpark to Teradata ML to easily convert legacy Spark applications to Teradata machine learning. This eliminates the need for data movement and allows you to keep data in platform. This significantly reduces the cost and complexity. No need to export data from Vantage Cloud to Spark. Customers can leverage Vantage Cloud's enterprise-grade workload management, our optimizer, security, data integration that's designed to operationalize Spark workloads. We had a cool customer example that I heard about just the other day. This was a POC for encryption of credit card data. This was one of the largest banks in Latin America. 16 million process records daily, 75 million consumer transactions, and the results speak for themselves. We saw 56% faster processing versus Databricks, which is where those workloads were previously run, at a 47% lower cost. Okay, let's talk about generative AI. So first, we have an awesome natural language interface called ask.ai. We talked about that at the Possible London last year and have gotten a ton of great use cases out in the field today. This makes it easier for users to learn and run ClearScape functions inside of Vantage. We can also, and you've heard a lot about this already, leverage external LLMs. If you have a large language model like ChatGPT, we have integrated API connections to answer questions or engineer prompts to give you answers back through Vantage. And operationalizing those workloads at scale, that end-to-end process is just as relevant to the generative AI space as it is to the broader analytics workflow. Integrating generative AI use cases in the Vantage ecosystem makes it easier to deploy models and faster to deploy models. And everything that we covered is underpinned by an open data and analytics strategy. We released AI Unlimited on Marketplace and Fabric over the last year. This is a low-friction way to deliver ClearScape. This is a new Teradata, a serverless workflow where you can use a Teradata engine on open data for modern data and analytic pipelines. This is simple, self-service access to our engine. We're seeing new logos, customers with no Teradata experience using our ML and advanced analytics companies running on their own infrastructure without installing our software or having a complex as-a-service environment. And you can see, I loved how Steve showed this morning, that Microsoft was just as excited about this as we are. This was one of just a very small handful of launch partners that Microsoft announced at the Build conference this year. And our release of open table formats, which are directly accessed by AI Unlimited, but are also directly accessed through Vantage Cloud Lake, gives you access to Delta Lake, Iceberg, read-write, OTF, let customers store data in an open and connected and standard way that's easily shared across different compute. Finally, let's talk about Vector Store. Many people may not realize, and Lewis gave a little preview of this earlier, that this is something we support today. Users in marketing, sales, and finance can utilize Teradata's Vector Store to gain insights from their data by asking natural language questions. This further democratizes data access, making our platform more accessible to a broader audience. And for Vector, you need scalable performance here too. You can leverage the same massively parallel engine and extensibility frameworks in ClearScape. Large-scale vectorized data is essential for Gen AI applications. Watch this space. Much more to come. Okay, this closes us out on the sprint through the last few years of delivery in advanced analytics and artificial intelligence. I said it earlier and I'll say it again, Teradata is the engine for advanced analytics and AI. We have the right cloud-native, massively parallel platform. We've made the right investments, and more importantly, most importantly, we have customers who have created and curated the world's most valuable data right inside of Vantage. And those customers, you guys in this room, have the business foresight to leverage that data to deliver the next generation of insights and intelligence to power the future of your business and lead the respective industries into the future. Speaking of future, let's welcome Dan Sperling to the stage to talk about what's next in Vantage. Thank you.
This year, nearly 2 million people will die from lung cancer. AI has already proven to massively aid early detection with an accuracy rate of nearly 95%, far surpassing human capability. This year, 2.5 million women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. AI has already been proven to increase the early detection capabilities of early-stage breast cancer by over 20% and has reduced false positives by over 30%. Broadening out, AI has already been proven to help diagnose and set the long-term survival rate for cancer patients with an accuracy of over 80%, and is also helping to provide more personalized treatment plans based on genetic profile markers. Like Giles talked about earlier, we do need to talk about the ethical usage of AI because safety is paramount. We do need to talk about AI regulation because, well, humans can be kind of greedy, and sometimes we can do bad things. We do need to talk about AI safety and governance because we must not tolerate unethical bias in AI decision-making. And, of course, we do need to talk about hallucinations and misinformation because AI that is wrong or AI that is untrusted is useless. But none of that negates the fact that AI is already here today, helping improve our world. AI is already augmenting our intelligence. AI is already enhancing our experiences, and AI is already increasing our safety. This is why investing in AI and prioritizing AI for Teradata is absolutely paramount. You already heard Hillary and Lewis and Tim talk about Teradata's position of strength in the AI space. And now I get to tell you my favorite part, which is where we're going. At Teradata, we spend a lot of time listening to customers. We get a lot of feedback through a lot of different forums. In fact, yesterday, we actually had a fantastic forum with many of our customers in our cloud customer advisory boards. And we listen to customers tell us about what's going on in their business. We listen to them tell us what they want. But even better than that, we get to talk with them and listen to what they tell us about their struggles and their challenges. For the next few minutes, I'm going to go through and highlight a handful of my favorite things coming in the roadmap this next year, things that we are prioritizing based on your feedback and based on you sharing your struggles and your challenges with us. And remember, for us, it's all about AI at scale. Customers tell us that they struggle with building their own customer models because it is resource intensive, it requires specialized expertise, it's usually slow, and it oftentimes requires to be maintained forevermore. They also, though, struggle with open source models or buying models, off the internet. They struggle with open source models as well and getting access to them. Fortunately for us, though, the open source community is booming. And we are seeing significant open source models that meet specific industry needs that are being developed quicker than we can develop in-house. And we're also seeing them be more cost-effective and reliable. That is why Teradata is excited to build on our existing Cloudscape capabilities for Bring Your Own Model, and we're actually launching Bring Your Own LLM and also Bring Your Own GenAI models into Teradata. You will be able to take any industry-focused model from outside via any of our partners, our partnerships with Anaconda, with Hugging Face, with Data Robot, and more, and bring them into Teradata and run them in Teradata's optimized engine, like what Lewis already talked about. Customers tell us that they struggle with scaling their GenAI models or their GenAI projects because of challenges on the vector side. Tim just talked about this a second ago, and Lewis touched on this. They struggle because traditional databases don't do really great if you've got a couple million vectors, yeah, not a problem. If you start going into billions of vectors, though, and billions for me, I'm an American, so billions, it's 1,000 million. Sorry for those who are like, wait, billions is a lot. But if you struggle scaling your vectors past, those databases start to become inefficient and struggle. A lot of the newer vector databases are based on in-memory technology, which are amazing. But those in-memory models can run out of memory, and you all of a sudden run into challenges scaling. This is why we are excited, like what Tim touched on. Oh, I almost hit you. To launch our vectors at scale capability to billions of vectors and supporting semantic vector search, as well as some of our patented capabilities around temporal vectors, or the ability to go back in time with vectors in based on what your business needs are, to go back and look at what's happening at the moment when that vector was launched. We'll be unlocking value from all data, not just specific data, by converting all types of data, whether it's voice or video or text or image data, into vectors, and then bringing those vectors into Teradata to be able to scale them using, again, our massively parallelized optimized engine. You will be able to combine, for example, Hillary was talking a little bit about Customer 360. Imagine bringing in Customer 360 data, right? Already you're doing that now, but then bringing in the actual audio that a user had when they were talking to the person on the phone, and pulling out of that audio the specific, maybe sentiment analysis, not just like sentiment analysis on the side, but real-time sentiment analysis from that audio, pulling in those words and the vectors associated with those words, creating even a more enriched Customer 360 opportunity. Customers tell us that they're concerned about exposing their sensitive data to cloud-based AI training opportunities or offerings. Other customers tell us that they have strict AI policies or regulation controls that do not allow them to train some of their sensitive data in the cloud. And still other customers tell us that they are concerned about the cost, or they're concerned about latency tied to other applications that are still on-prem. This is why we're excited to be announcing our AI on-premise offering. This is a turnkey solution that allows us to be able to bring AI, machine learning and AI, but as well as generative AI, onto an on-prem offering in a turnkey solution, like I said, that also brings in the ability to have an air-gapped based solution, or if you actually are able to be connected to the cloud, a solution that is natively integrated with the cloud service provider's capabilities. Their native capabilities in SageMaker, in Vertex, in OpenAI. We will be delivering this ClearScape Analytics solution on-premise this year, and then expanding it into our bring your own stuff, our bring your own LLMs, and our bring your own generative AI models next year, and then moving from there into expanding into GPU enriched capabilities, again, all on-prem. You can imagine with this being able to deliver and build whatever AI-based project you want, and for those customers who require it, be able to do this fully on-prem, all the way from training, all the way to inference and scoring. Customers tell us that they face challenges with some of their AI projects because of challenges getting access to all data. Many companies, hopefully most of your companies, are starting to explore open table format-based opportunities or open table format-based lakes. You already hopefully were looking in open file format, and now you're exploring open table format. These open table format offerings are sometimes even used externally for external shares to make it easier to share access back and forth with customers. Customers tell us that they need to make sure that their AI offerings, whatever they are, have the ability to connect to these open table format offerings. This is why we're excited to expand ClearScape's ability now to be able to train and score against data that is in open table formats, whether Apache Iceberg or Delta Lake. This is giving you and your AI builders access to all the data that is within your environment, not just the data that's in Teradata, in order to continue expanding your AI offerings. You can imagine unleashing all of Teradata's high-performance engine, plus all of our ClearScape AI and ML capabilities against this data that is spread across your data ecosystem and in your data lakes. Customers tell us that they're spending too much time working on data prep. You heard someone say earlier that data prep is somewhere between like 70 to 90% of the work that an AI or machine learning engineer or builder spends time on. The interesting thing is we already have a ton of tools in this space to help customers build and, prep and cleanse that data as they get ready. But one thing they also tell us is that they struggle waiting on their laptops. We hear the data scientists actually ask the IT teams, please give us more capacity. We need more capacity. But understandably, many of the IT teams are concerned about unlocking and giving access to shared operational system to some of these rogue data science projects. That's why you heard Lewis and Tim talk about it. We are excited for the upcoming GA. We already have it in preview. We're excited for the GA of our AI Unlimited on-demand offering, which is our AI engine for ClearScape Analytics. We are delivering this in the CSP marketplaces, so you can pull it down in the marketplace, or we're also delivering it like we talked about in Microsoft Fabric. Obviously, you saw we were very proud of the fun with Satya. With this solution, from an AI Unlimited perspective, you will be able to simplify data prep with our tools, but also simplify the access that your users have to massive amounts of compute in an optimized engine that can still be controlled and contained from a cost, spend, and ESG perspective. Customers tell us that they struggle with fragmented AI workflows and disjointed and disconnected tools. They have recruits coming out, you have recruits coming out of college who want to use the tools of choice. They want to use the stuff they used in college, and they want to be able, or uni, and they want to be able to pull that in. But unfortunately, oftentimes within our large enterprises, we have a pretty disjointed hodgepodge of tools, and we have a bunch of broken flows that make it difficult to move not just from ideation to experimentation, but ideation to experimentation all the way to deployment in production. This is actively stifling innovation and stopping AI projects and experiments that probably are really good from seeing the light of day. This is why we are excited to announce the AI workflow enhancements that we'll be bringing this coming year. We are specifically unlocking the data scientist, the AI engineer, the AI developer, the machine learning engineer, the data engineer, all the different personas that are actively building in this long lineage or long life cycle of a deploying an idea all the way into production. With industry standard tools like Jupyter Notebooks or Python and R or Data Robot or Dataiku or KNIME or Anaconda, I can keep going. We have natively integrated, and we're going to be joining these chains together to make it seamless to get from start all the way to production. And within those workflows, we're making it even easier to achieve the outcomes that you want. For example, we have auto ML capabilities that we are launching that will enable you to more dynamically help with model experimentation and then with parameter tuning as well, specifically to help reduce the manual effort of getting these models trained and up. We also have some new features, like little things, utilities that will be more seamlessly embedded in this experience to help ease you getting, for example, our PySpark utility. We're talking about this in the ClearScape section. The PySpark utility that can help you convert over into Teradata and take advantage of the native capabilities that we've got in our engine from your existing PySpark models. And finally, customers tell us that managing a couple models in production is doable. Managing millions, not so much. They tell us specifically that as they look to drive more personalization, they want more models at more fidelity or more discrete units. This starts moving into models that are untenable to be maintained by a human. They tell us that they struggle because of these overarching challenges getting these models out, but they struggle even more with the human effort, which is oftentimes super inefficient. Even if you could hire enough people, it's super inefficient and error-prone. This is why we're excited to continue to enhance, and we're improving both our ModelOps UX and experience, as well as our ModelOps scale, giving you the ability, again, to manage billions of models in scale and move forward with a ModelOps solution that brings and completes this life cycle of AI models going into production. We're going to be further expanding ModelOps with our Model Factories capabilities, which is where we're taking some of the existing services we've got and driving significant automation to allow you to bring these analytic workflows that I talked about a second ago and move them to production. In addition, we are going to be expanding, like I touched on, our ModelOps UX capabilities to make it easier for you to manage and understand and control these feature stores, model stores, et cetera, and also some of the metadata, which is going to now become more about management for you to control and make sure you govern these models. Manage that metadata in production at scale. I said I was going to give you a handful. That was quite a big handful, but there's a lot that we've got going. You heard the joke earlier today about Martin talking about, as an American, I do say I'm really excited about these things. the reality is that the stuff I just went through is just a snippet. And I focused obviously on the AI areas that we're bringing to market, but it's a snippet of what we're bringing to market in the coming year. We're excited to continue to deliver this radical innovation across our entire data and AI portfolio. And like many have highlighted throughout the day, Steve started with this, all of it delivered in an open and connected fashion, delivered in the cloud and on-prem for whatever your location needs are, and all delivered at scale. I'm going to close out by saying you heard Hillary jest about AI really basically being the future of everything, and we believe it is. But it's going to be hard, it's going to be complex, and it's going to take work. You heard Lewis really touch on the proof points of why Teradata specifically was designed for scale and for efficiency, and also is designed to help you control cost and ultimately help us reduce emissions and reduce impact on our environment. You heard Tim go into detail and give you proof points of how we have delivered in the past years, not just the last couple years when AI has been popular, but for the last decades. And now you're hearing me talk a quick snip. I say quick, it was like 12 minutes, but a quick snip of what we've got coming down in the pipe in the next year. Now it's your turn. You all have the power, you all have the capabilities, you all have problems, you all have challenges. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to take your ideas and move them forward? And how are you going to lead within your business in order to drive significant change, leveraging the power and the tools that Teradata can bring you, as well as all of the other members of this larger AI ecosystem that we're all a part of? And as you're thinking about where you're going in your business, why stop at your business? Why not continue to be leaders and let your leaders be businesses in your industry and drive change across the world? From a Teradata perspective, we are so excited to support you in whatever you can imagine, because wherever you go, we will be there to continue to work with you to make it possible. Thank you so much.